Hello and welcome back. And in this video, we are going to be exploring system notifications. Apple ecosystem leverages Notification Center to report changes at the system level. There are several types of notification events, such as app entering the background, when user takes a screenshot on the device, or when something changes in the battery level. So we can leverage all these notifications to make important changes in our app. Now, you can refer to all the notifications that are provided or posted by the system using the by looking at NS notification name, and you can see there are a whole bunch of system level notifications that are posted in the notification center. Okay, so you can see a full list of notifications. Now today what we'll do is we'll see how to use these system notifications in our own app. We will continue on the example that we've been building for the notification, where we have created this sender view, which is right here, which sends the notification, and the receiver view, which receives the notifications. And we're gonna basically use this example to build upon and see how we can leverage the system notification. And in this case, what we are going to do is let me go ahead and launch the app first. Okay, so we have the app running. It's gonna pull up in a minute, and this is not the app, so let me. All right, so that was the another experimentation, but let's go ahead and wait for app to pull up, and hopefully this time we'll see the right app. Okay, so we have this notification. As you can see that we have two views stack vertically, basically using the V stack. That's what we are using here. Now, if we rotate our device, notice that the views basically still stack on the top of each other. So let's go ahead and rotate it back, and now they're actually looking better. But if you're looking in the landscape view, you can see all these views are stretched, and what we want to do is we would rather have these views display side by side when you're viewing in the landscape mode versus on the top of each other, in the vertical stack, when you're looking at the app in the portrait mode. Okay, so that is what we're going to be doing, and we're going to be leveraging the system notification and the change notification that actually system posts whenever the orientation changes for the phone, and we're going to leverage that to basically adjust our UI. Okay, so let's begin by creating an enum that'll represent the orientations that we are interested in. There are two orientations that we're going to track: portrait and landscape. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way down and create an enum. We're going to call this DT orientation, and this is going to have two values: portrait and landscape. Okay, next we will create an observable class to monitor the orientation changes and the notifications that we receive. Okay, so we're gonna simply import the observation first, observation framework, and then we're gonna create an observable final class called system notification example. Okay, and now here we're gonna first create a center reference to the NS notification center not NS notification, actually notification center dot default. Okay, there we go. So we are now we have reference to the default notification center. Next we're going to actually create a variable for orientation, and this is going to be basically the orientation that we have created, the enum. By default, we are going to go in the portrait mode, Okay, and then we're going to create our initializer. And in this initializer, we are going to basically write some code which is going to enable us to observe the changes, basically, or the notifications that have been posted at the notification center level. Okay, but before that, let's create the function that we're going to be calling inside the init. Okay, so we're going to create this as a main actor because this is going to be called on the main thread, and the function name itself is going to be called orientation change notification. This is going to be an async function, so we can await on this. Let's get the name of the event that we are actually trying to observe. Okay, so let's once again pull up that website which actually talks about NS notifications, and we're gonna search for orientation. Okay, so there are a few, and there is the one that we are looking for, UI device orientation did change notification. Now if you go inside, you can actually you can learn about this. Basically, it's a notification that is posted when the orientation of the device changes. It has been supported from all along, like, all the way from iOS 2 plus, iOS 2.0 plus, and iPadOS 2.0 plus. Okay, and basically you can obtain the new orientation by getting the value of orientation property. All right, so let's go ahead and use this name as the name that we are trying to observe. So it is UI device dot orientation did change notification. Okay, so that is the notification that we are looking for. Now we're going to await for these notifications, for all the notifications that we are actually going to get from center.notifications. And the name that we are interested in is the name that we have actually created right here, which is the device orientation did change notification. Okay, so if that device, that means we can actually get the notification object as a UI device. If we can extract the UI device basically from the notification object, that means we have entered the right, or we have received the right notification, the one that we are looking for. Now at this point, we can simply look for the orientation property of the device. So if the device's orientation is portrait, then we're going to set our variables orientation as portrait. Otherwise, we're going to change the orientation as landscape. Okay. Now, basically we have these orientation, and they are both assigned as because we have defined this as let. That's why I was complaining that you cannot update the let, but now we changed it to variable, and we can assign the orientation properties. Now, because this class is defined as observable, this orientation property is automatically going to be published for us. Okay. Now, for this non-sendable NS notification, basically is a non-sendable type, or notifications basically is a non-sendable type. So you have to provide implementation for all the values for the notification to satisfy. Now in this case, we are just providing if there is no else, and we can escape by providing the else condition, or we can actually create an extension for the notification, and we can say mark it unchecked. For sendable protocol. Okay, and that way our warning actually disappears. Now we are ready to observe the notification and the changes that are happening at the system level for the orientation change. Okay, so we're going to go back into our example view, notification example view, which is this guy right here, or the content view basically. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna create a state property, which is going to be defining or creating an instance of this system notification example. Okay, so the class that we have created, this guy right here. All right, while we are here, actually we need to make sure that we actually define our init as well. So let's go ahead and create the task with priority, and the priority is going to be the background because this task is going to be lower priority than user actions. And we're going to have orientation change notification, and we're going to call this function right here, this function. Okay, so we are simply, whenever we are defining or we are creating an instance of this class, at that point we're going to start observing the notification changes. Okay, so let's go back into our driver view or main content view, and we're going to create a state variable. Okay, and now when we've created this state variable, we already have initialized the notification center for the system notification to receive system notification, and it's now listening. Basically, the changes are being observed at this point. Now, next thing what we need to do is we need to go inside the body, and we're going to create a layout variable. And this layout variable is going to be a computer variable, which is going to go into the system notification, and depending upon the orientation, for example, the orientation is portrait, we're going to say that it is going to be any layout of VStack. So for the vertical or the portrait mode, we're going to basically display the any layout as VStack. Otherwise, we're going to display any layout as HStack. Okay, so basically this is going to create a layout using VStack or HStack. Now we can actually use, instead of defining here this VStack, we can say that we are interested in just having the layout, and the layout is going to be computed dynamically as the user changes the orientation. So let's go ahead and build and run, and we should notice, okay, let's see. Okay, so let's fix this. Change it from var to let, and because this is pre-computed properties being observed and changed every time body updates. And now let's change the orientation. As you can see that when we are in the landscape mode, we see the views side by side, and this is basically, these views are inside the horizontal stack, and if we change it to portrait mode, they're in the VStack. Okay, so this is how you can actually observe the changes at the system level. Now, if you want to see how the changes are being made, or when the changes are being made and you want to observe those changes, you can simply put on change observer, and this on change observer is going to be attached to the orientation property of system notification. You can simply set it there, and then for now we're just gonna print the old value and the new value, and this actually gives you the access of how things are changing from where to when. Okay, so as you can see, it's changing from portrait to landscape, and just to make it nice, we're gonna simply just draw this arrow right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and try it out, and hopefully okay, there we go. All right, so as you can see, we have the right console log is being posted here. Okay, all right, so with that, we have reached the end of this video. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.